I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys in a while, but I fucking love Nikki Cross. Let's talk about NXT. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check here with your NXT review for May 30th, 2018, and it's hot as fuck, and I'm cranky, and that's just how honesty works. But if it's your first time checking out the video, go up into the annotation up above, check out my other NXT reviews. I did review 205 Live for a long period of time. If you want to see some of those reviews, that's not really happening anymore. Check out the Off the Cuff series, which hopefully is returning by the end of this week. Me and Kristen got something in the chamber there. Check out the Aftermath series, check out the Q&A. Please add your questions to the Q&A if you want to join into that. And yeah, other than me looking weirdly tan in my camera right now, because my camera is not my best friend at the best of times, listen to it as a podcast if you really want to. But I have given NXT a lot of shit in the past 2 weeks for just making either bad or just really weird booking decisions, etc. But this show, for more reasons than just the main event, but mostly for the main event, this was a pretty good fucking show. We start with a video recap of everything that's happened between Ciampa, Gargano, Candice LeRae getting taken out on the ramp last week, etc. It's announced by Mauro Ranallo that neither men are here tonight due to the volatile nature of their situation, and that they will have a street fight at TakeOver Chicago, where it all began. Ciampa Gargano 2, whatever else you want to say. But there are other elements to be added to this later on. We start the show proper with Alistair Black. Still love Alistair Black's entrance. Still love the, you know, Dracula rising out of the coffin type entrance. It's funny because I went back and I rewatched it. It looks like he's not used to doing that entrance with the belt because it looks like he almost dropped the belt. Comes out, the promo is pretty damn simple because, I mean, Alistair Black really doesn't need to cut a long promo, does he? Since I won in New Orleans, this title's been life-changing. There's been controversy over who the #1 contender should be. Whoever it is, I only need one shot, and you will fade to black. Lars Sullivan, coming out of the bullshit from last week, makes me roll my eyes a whole fucking lot. He says the dispute is over, that Regal has booked him to face Alistair Black at TakeOver Chicago. You know, for 16 years now, gives him all the credit in the world. It's for 16 years now, you've made all your opponents fade to black. Now you're the NXT champion, but you've never faced somebody like me with the power and the strength and the size and the raw. And Vince McMahon is sitting in the back jerking off while he's talking about all that. You can't do anything about me, and I'm going to be your new champion. Now, Lars goes, I don't know why he starts that, what the hell is he called? The freak accident. I don't know why he starts the freak accident from a chokeslam position, because it's really more of a gut-wrench maneuver, but he goes for that choke. Black blocks it, but the more important part of the story is Alistair Black goes for the Black Mass, and Lars Sullivan catches his foot. And for a split second, you see that look on Alistair Black's face like, what the absolute fuck? And then Lars puts him down with the freak accident and poses with the belt. Now, it's all good. You want to play up that moment of, you know, oh my god, it's never been broken. I still remember Undertaker breaking Bret Hart's sharpshooter and Jim Ross having a fucking aneurysm on commentary because it was a big deal. The whole, you know, nobody's ever blocked the Black Mass. I wish they'd given it to somebody I cared more about. Lars Sullivan is cool. He's good in his role. He's the big show of NXT. And he, granted, you know, especially in the ladder match not too long ago, he can pull off some pretty wicked stuff. Don't get me wrong. I wish I cared. That moment, that Black Mass getting blocked and Alistair Black getting the holy shit face, that should have gone to Killian Dane before Sanity went to the main roster, because they haven't even used Sanity on the main roster yet, have they? Have them have a couple more exhibitions in NXT till you figure out what the fuck you're going to do with them. This is a match. I have really tried to avoid the conversation of, you know, Alistair Black became champion, we're happy that he's champion, but he seems to be bumped down the card from other rivalries, from Gargano and Ciampa, which happened at the last pay-per-view, from Velveteen Dream and Ricochet, which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, and giving him an opponent like Lars Sullivan isn't going to help that scenario. I really wanted to believe that they were going to give him somebody good. I thought after what happened 2 weeks ago when the match was interrupted. I thought Lars Sullivan would have been punished, have a triple threat between Black and Dream and Ricochet. That would have been cool, but you know, I don't get to make these decisions. It gets announced. The theme for Chicago's Takeover is Painless by Fozzy. Fozzy keeping up their reputation with the NXT brand. Obviously, Jericho has a reputation with WWE, so why wouldn't Fozzy have a musical relationship with NXT? Because NXT usually uses, let's face it, better music on their pay-per-views than the poppy bullshit that the main roster shit does. I mean, we are coming up on Money in the Bank, which never really changes. They always use that Money, Money, Money song, which is bullshit, isn't it? So why wouldn't we have a cool song like Painless by Fozzy for the TakeOver show? I will question, however, a wrestling show using a song called Painless as their theme, because, I mean, there's nothing that happens in a wrestling ring that's painless, but be that as it may. Now, two more things I want to say on the topic of music. First of all, pretty short and sweet and to the point. Anybody that watches these videos knows I'm a big fan of Hailstorm. Hailstorm put out their new song Uncomfortable, which is off their latest CD that's coming out, Vicious. I know you guys don't come here for musical suggestions, but go to YouTube, check out Uncomfortable. It's a pretty damn good track. The other thing I will say, my boy Enzo that got fucked over super hard and let his music video drop during Raw on Monday was fucking fantastic. It's not my type of music by a long shot, but the way he's taken the piss out of WWE, he's taking the piss out of asshole wrestling fans, and he's taking the piss out of, let's be real for a second, the woman that tried to ruin his life, the way a lot of women are doing that to other people these days, but I digress, is fucking wonderful. And for him to go live on Instagram while that was being dropped from Times Square, seeing all the support that somebody like him that got fucked over should get, was fucking amazing. Fight me. You know, the next chapter in the social justice warrior, you know, regime is what happened to Roseanne, but we could do a whole video on that. Could we not? Fozzy's doing the takeover thing. Cool. Hailstorm's got new music coming out. Cool. Enzo's telling everybody to fuck off, and you know that I can relate to that. Let's move on. We see a tweet from Candice LeRae, and she's not happy about the street fight. Not at all. Not only does she not support the street fight, she's done watching her husband become what he hates. Now that's an interesting thing, because you got to figure she's not going to be by his side for the match. Is she going to turn on her husband? Is it going to be Candice LeRae and Tommaso Ciampa destroying Johnny Gargano? That's an interesting thing that they probably will not do, because unlike most YouTubers these days, I actually know that I don't work for the WWE writing staff. Oh yes, the War Raiders take on some jobbers and it's fun. I would normally say the War Raiders took on some jobbers and we would move on from there, but there's a couple of really good things in here. Headbutt and some high knees by Rowe, discus one punch knockdown, corner press by Hansen, which is insane because of the size of him. Hip toss and a lariat. Series of body shots by Rowe and a high collar suplex, which is real. High collar suplex looked like the guy landed on his fucking neck. And that's not the only time I'm going to say that tonight either. Corner splash by Hansen is terrifying, and a running bicycle kick by Rowe. Bronco buster by Hansen. In other words, say goodbye to your sternum. Fucking hell. High knee by Rowe and a springboard lariat by Hansen. Equally terrifying. And then they hit that backdrop, leg drop combination for the win. With it being a squash, I thought they were going to call out another team, and, you know, they do a squash, they win easily, they call out somebody new, they call out the next team they're going to face, fucking call out Street Profits or some shit, I really don't know. But they didn't, and it was just a squash for the sake of a squash. But those guys at that size, flying around, such as they were, it kind of reminds me of Killian Dane. I got to go back to Killian Dane again. Really big fan of Killian Dane. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not. It's not right when Killian Dane does the suicide dive. It's the same as these guys here doing a fucking Bronco buster. Yeah, that would fucking kill a regular person. We see a video package for Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, which is, of course, the main event here tonight. Lacey Evans versus Kairi Sane is happening again next week, and Lacey Evans can fuck the fuck off. EC3 versus Fabian Eichner. We got NX3 signs all over the damn place. Collar and elbow tie-up. Fabian eats the turnbuckle pretty damn hard. Series of kicks and chops by Fabian and a back elbow. Gut wrench by Fabian and a really awkward-looking top rope hangman by EC3. But nobody cares about the match all of a sudden. because Johnny Gargano, who's not here tonight and got delivered his contract by mail, which was announced to us early by Mauro Ranallo, which I didn't mention because I'm kind of a moron sometimes, walks up and announces to the live crowd, this is a contract for a street fight with Ciampa at TakeOver, da-da-da-da-da, here it is. And he leaves it on the commentator's table, which is funny because William Regal is not one of the commentators. But the match continues, top rope crossbody to the outside by Fabian and a modified DDT by EC3. One percenter by the one percenter for the 1-2-3. EC3 gets, I just wanted to say that one time. EC3 gets the win, obviously. Fabian Eichner, I hate that they're using him as a jobber. I really, really do. They're sort of giving him the Tyler Breeze treatment, where you know how great Tyler Breeze is, but they don't ever let him be as great as he is. It's what we used to call the Dolph Ziggler spot. If this is how you're going to use Fabian Eichner, put him on 205 Live. I know I've stopped reviewing 205 Live. Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy was a fucking amazing match last night, I will say that much. We saw the Bianca Belair video that was announced last week, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I fast-forwarded through this. Not because I don't like Bianca Belair. I mean, her gimmick is shit. The hair whip thing is shit. The STD of NXT is shit. But I do like Bianca Belair in the ring. I hope she finds a lot of success. I hope they let her shed that gimmick and just show how great she is in the ring. But this is the thing that NXT does, and they did it with TM61, who are terrible. They did it with Roderick Strong, who didn't need it. But they do these, you know, in-depth, let's get to know the real person interviews. And if they did it on one or two people, it would be special, but they're starting to do it for everybody. Like, every couple of weeks, there's a let's really get to know this person. And you don't need to know... I don't know how to say this, because on the one side, NXT is the smarky brand, and all of us that are watching NXT probably know most of the stuff that goes on in these people's real lives. But you don't need to peek behind the curtain of every character. I don't want to know the real person behind Ember Moon. I want to know the Ember Moon character. Same thing for somebody like a Finn Balor. Same thing for something like a Bray Wyatt. Yes, I know Bray Wyatt is Husky Harris, but I want to know Bray Wyatt, the character. I want Bray Wyatt to present something to me in the ring. I want Ember Moon to present something to me in the ring. Finn Balor to present something to me in the ring. I want Bianca Belair to shed the shitty gimmick and show me something good in the ring. Show me a good character. Don't tell me that she did gymnastics when she was 5 or some bullshit. NXT does those video packages really well, but they lose their effectiveness, and that's why I fast-forwarded through this video. So I can't tell you a single thing that was mentioned in this video because I just don't care. No, no, no. Ricochet versus Chris Dijak. Now, you guys gotta help me. You guys know I don't watch the indies unless it's Destiny, because Destiny fucking rules. Chris Dijak. Is this the same Dijak that I have heard referenced as Donovan Dijak from the indies? I'm not sure, but this is a big motherfucker taking on Ricochet, which was really, really fun. Dijak misses a boot to start the match. First match on NXT, the first thing you do is miss a boot. Fantastic. Series of punches by Ricochet, bicycle kick by Ricochet, and some high knees. Suicide dive by Ricochet is caught by Dijak on the outside, catches him in a double choke, and then choke slams him on the apron. I do like this thing that we're doing in WWE right now. You can't do chair shots. You can't do this and that and the next thing. You can't have blood and whatever. But everybody and their mother can have their spine rearranged by the edge of the apron. That's a little bit of controversy right there. Slingshot elbow drop by Dijak, which is pretty damn impressive considering the size of this guy. Dijak attempts a moonsault and misses. And this is the second time in the night. I was pretty damn sure that somebody basically just could have snapped their neck. They really, really could have, because the way he lands, I mean, I know they got to roll through when they know they're going to miss something, but his head just goes all the way like this on the landing, and it's really not good. You don't want to see somebody break their neck in their first televised match, do you? That's not a good thing at all. Discus forearm and an axe kick by Ricochet, snap suplex and a roll through into a hesitation suplex by Ricochet. Ricochet hits the fucking beautiful 630 splash for the win. Ricochet calls out Velveteen Dream. I can speak, I swear. My writing is terrible. I can't even read it, and I wrote it 20 minutes ago. Ricochet calls out Velveteen Dream. They banter back and forth with the... You guys know, in a match, I love, you know, the whole anything you can do, I can do better type thing. But hearing it in promos over and over and over again is a little fucking terrible. Ricochet repeatedly calling Velveteen Dream a punk while they talk about the pay-per-view coming up in Chicago, because that's what this was meant to set up, is they're going to fight in Chicago, which is wonderful. Velveteen Dream's on the rampway. Ricochet's in the middle of the ring. Ricochet soars clean over the top rope and lands on his feet in front of Velveteen Dream on the rampway, and Velveteen Dream looks legit like he just shat his pants. It's all fucking good. This is another great match for TakeOver. This is another great match that I'm going to care more about than the championship match. That's not a good thing. And that's not all that I'm looking forward to at TakeOver over that match. Danny Burch versus Roderick Strong is taking place next week, so that whole, like, you know, makeshift faction that Pete Dunne has versus the Undisputed Era is a thing. And then we got Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai for the women's title. This is what I want to see. I've said it for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Dakota Kai is Bayley done properly. Dakota Kai is underdog done properly. Shayna is bully done properly. Nia Jax can fuck off with all her shit. Oh, I've been body shamed and that's why I got handed a title at WrestleMania. And now they have her on Raw trying to bully Ronda Rousey. Fuck off. You guys wonder why I don't review Raw. Jesus fucking Christ. But Shayna Baszler's still green, and it still shows, and she's great for what she is. They announced during this match that, I'm going to mess up these names, but Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, the last two of the UFC 4 Horsewomen, are all under the WWE banner now. So two of them in developmental, one of them in NXT, and one of them in WWE. So you know that 4-on-4 match is happening eventually. Match starts, and this is Shayna Baszler, let's be real, kicking the living shit out of Dakota Kai. Because the size difference, because of the story they're playing up, because Dakota Kai plays such a fucking good underdog. A few kicks in the corner by Baszler and a pie face just to, you know, shame her and embarrass her and look what I can do. A couple of body shots, and attacks the leg like she attacks the arm. One thing I did not mention. The video package leading up to this match focused a lot on that, I don't know what they call it, I don't know what Baszler's calling it, but where she had her face down and sort of stood her arm up and stepped on the arm the wrong way. She did that to a bunch of different joints in this match. It was almost akin to when I talk about Pete Dunne when he does the joint manipulation. This is the joint smashing. She attacks the leg in the same way, puts it in an awkward position, fucking stomps on it, works the leg in the ropes, kicks her, hits her with some more body shots, knee bar, ankle lock, turns her over, does the same thing to the ankle, and combine that psychology with the friggin' legit tininess of Dakota Kai. It's fucking great. Dakota Kai stands up, slaps her in the face, but then Baszler quickly gets her with a boot and some ground and pound. Ankle lock by Baszler, and the ankle lock stays on for a long time as the crowd was kind of shit for this match, I'm not going to lie. But the crowd does sort of bolster up a little bit when they see that Dakota Kai is not going to tap out. She flips over, hits an enziguri, series of forearms, series of kicks by Kai, and a bicycle kick, and 2 haluva kicks is all the offensive flurry that we get out of Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai tries some kind of head scissor maneuver. I won't pretend to know what she was going for, but it gets countered into the Karafuda clutch, and Baszler gets the win, and Baszler locks in the Karafuda clutch. Again, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. After the match, and she's saved by, of all people, Nikki Cross, who's been tormenting her in the back. Now, strifenineteen down in the comments section suggested to me a couple weeks ago, big shout out to him by the way, suggested the idea that Nikki Cross isn't trying to fuck with Dakota Kai, isn't trying to, like, you know, fuck with her mind and pick on her or whatever, that maybe in her own crazy way she's trying to motivate her a little bit. And in his comment he left a bunch of examples that I'm sorry I can't think of right now. And it's clearly the case here, because while the Karafuda clutch is on by Shayna Baszler on Dakota Kai, who's fucking out like a light, Nikki Cross comes in, not only makes the save, but chucks Shayna Baszler into the corner and goes absolutely bat shit challenging Shayna Baszler, and it's good, and the crowd finally picks up because it's Nikki Cross and she's fucking great. You know, come on, why don't you fight me? Let's fight right now. It grabs the belt. You and me for this tonight. You and me for this tonight. Baszler is on the outside, like, what the fuck is this woman doing? You and me tonight, and Dakota's gonna be the ref. And she comes back in the ring. She does a great job of playing that I don't know what to do with this person type thing, but Nikki Cross hits the purge, pins her, Dakota Kai makes the 3 count. Yeah, I can speak, I swear. Nikki Cross running laps around the ring like she's just won the fucking title. Mauro Ranallo sort of under his breath on commentary, somebody eventually has to tell Nikki Cross that she's not the champion. But you gotta figure you gotta figure that either we're getting Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler at TakeOver, which would make me happy, or we'll sum up the entire storyline in one match. We'll have Dakota Kai versus Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler at Chicago, which would also be good. This is why I didn't freak out and I didn't shit my pants like everybody else on Twitter did when they announced that Sanity was coming up to the main roster and Nikki Cross was staying behind. I did not want Nikki Cross to have the same thing happen to her that Alexa Bliss did. Alexa Bliss was held down by the tag team she was managing. She never got a chance to be the NXT Women's Champion, which is a crying shame because you can't go backwards. I mean, apparently news is saying that Ty Dillinger is going to go backwards, but I really hope that they hold Nikki Cross in higher esteem than Ty Dillinger. So if this is the program, if they're playing up Chicago to be this big thing because they want Money in the Bank to be one of the big 5 pay-per-views, so it needs a takeover, so the takeover is probably going to be fucking huge. Give Nikki Cross the fucking belt. Prove me right. Show why you left her in NXT. You know, it's all good. We got Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler versus potentially Dakota Kai. We've got Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream. We got Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, and these are all matches that I care about, unfortunately, more than the NXT Championship. But NXT Takeover Chicago is looking fucking great. This was an amazing show. The entire scene with Nikki Cross at the end, where she's just decided that she's got a title match, and Dakota's going to be the referee. There's a 3 count. I've got the belt. The former champion doesn't know what the fuck to do. I must be the champion. This was great. This makes up for the last 2 or 3 weeks of questionable / wrong decisions. Now get rid of Lacey Evans and the women's right fucking bullshit, and we will all be good. Go check out Enzo's track. Go check out Hailstorm. I guess it's cool that Fozzie's doing the theme for TakeOver Chicago, and that's about all I got. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.